particular quality of light that falls on specific surfaces. The slight and irrepeatable illumination of a Tuesday afternoon in November. The way the sun through a specific window hits a specific table. Her medium is neither paint nor photograph. She works in the actual light itself. The half-life of the photon, extended by techniques she developed alone through the weeks of her particular and private research. The taxidermist of light, preserving the beam, the Tuesday afternoon and the cold November dream of illumination fixed into permanent form. The taxidermist of light before the storm. I saw her collection in the darkened room where she keeps the preserved lights. The bloom of each specific illumination still present in its frame. The light still pleasant despite having been taken from its original source. The taxidermist of light, preserving the beam, the Tuesday afternoon and the cold November dream of illumination fixed into permanent form. The taxidermist of light before the storm. The oldest preserved light in her collection was from before she'd perfected the injection technique, slightly blurred at the edges. The specific illuminations, pledges to accuracy not entirely fulfilled. To preserve was the light of the hour before grief, the bright ordinary afternoon that people only recognize in retrospect as the lonely last ordinary light before everything changed. The taxidermist of light, preserving the beam, the Tuesday afternoon and the cold November dream of illumination fixed into permanent form. The taxidermist of light before the storm.
Become a member. Join our circle of shadows, pay less than $1 a month. Help us grow, join now.
particular heaviness of the cold, dark that my grandmother carried in place. In the room she occupied, the traced pattern of her melancholy pressed into the walls. My mother rearranged the furniture but kept the darkness without knowing the webbed into walls quality of ancestral shadow, following the women of my line through the meadow of decades into the houses of each generation. The weight of inherited darkness passed down, the shadow that moves from town to town, in the bloodline, in the furniture, in the bone. The weight of inherited darkness carried alone. Recognized it in myself at 30, the particular quality, the dirty gold of the family shadow settling into my particular rooms, the settling of what the women before me had accumulated. The weight of inherited darkness passed down, the shadow that moves from town to town, in the bloodline, in the furniture, in the bone. The weight of inherited darkness carried alone. Carried alone. is a cold and patient rendering of what the body holds inside its daily. Nobody notice the texture of calcium and form. Each bone she charts by its Latin name and its function in the larger mechanics, the bits and pieces of the extraordinary ordinary frame that carries the visionary and the grieving and the joyful equally. The bone cartographer mapping the frame, each femur and fibula given its name in the atlas of the self we never see. The bone cartographer drawing you and me. She found the hairline fracture in the sternum that no physician had located the firm and patient reading of the bone's own language, revealing what the years of anguish had deposited in calcium and stress. The bone cartographer mapping the frame, each femur and fibula given its name in the atlas of the self we never see. The bone cartographer drawing you and me. I asked her what the bones say about grief, whether the skeleton keeps a brief or extensive record of the losses that the soft tissue of the body processes without the bone knowing. She paused a long time. The bones know everything, she said at last. The skeleton is the only honest past. The body keeps the cartilage in the joint, recording every weight at every point of the life in this particular frame. The bone cartographer mapping the frame, each femur and fibula given its name in the atlas of the self we never see. The bone cartographer drawing you and me.
Every canvas he has produced shows a door, always closed, always set into the floor. Plan of an unspecified building whose walls extend beyond the frame, whose halls continue into the territory the painting refuses. The doors are different in each work, the wood and iron and the painted. The wood be opened and the clearly sealed forever. Each door a different proposition, whether of mystery or refusal, or privacy. The painter of closed doors, canvas by canvas, each shot against whatever is behind us. Or ahead of us, the hinge, the only clue. The painter of closed doors, painting for you. I visited a studio and found him adding the final brushstroke to a door. The padding of age along its frame executed in a grace so precisely suited to the quality of something decades unopened. The painter of closed doors, canvas by canvas, each shot against whatever is behind us. Or ahead of us, the hinge, the only clue. The painter of closed doors, painting for you. I asked if he had ever painted an open door, if any canvas in the studio store of finished work showed a door ajar, or standing wide he looked from where we are to where the paintings covered every wall. He said the open door is everyone else's subject mind, is the moment before the vows of arrival and departure, the pure potential of the close, the endurance of what waits on both sides of the sealed. The painter of closed doors, canvas by canvas, each shot against whatever is behind us. Or ahead of us, the hinge, the only clue. The painter of closed doors, painting for you.
His candles burn differently from the factory kind. The flame more complex, the refractory quality of the handmade wick catching and releasing in a rhythm. The watching of his candles, a different experience from the manufacturer. The last candle maker dipping the wick, layer by layer in the patient thick accumulation of what becomes the light, the last that the handmade candle holds memory in a way the factory molds cannot replicate. That something of the care of making enters the burning, the rare quality of attention preserved in the tallow. The last candle maker dipping the wick, layer by layer in the patient thick accumulation of what becomes the light. The last candle maker burning through the night. I buy my candles from him every winter, the weight of them in my hand, the splinter of scent that the tallow releases in the dark of my rooms, his particular mark of craft distinguishable from every imitation. When he is gone, the particular light he makes will be gone with him. The right of the handmade candle to its own quality, a flame extinguished, the modality of his craft surviving only in the last supply he made. The last candle maker dipping the wick, layer by layer in the patient thick accumulation of what becomes the light. The last candle maker burning through the night. Burning through the night. Persistence, the already dead. January refusing to actually end. But I have loved you longest and most honestly. Your absence of pretense, the modesty of your light that makes no promise it can't keep. You're cool, so consistent and so deep that it becomes a precise of any month, the low and ice-cut angle of your sun, revealing textures that summer's overhead lectures of brightness simply flatten and obscure. So here's my hymn to the month no one chose for their wedding or their holiday, the close and unforgiving month that offers only the truth of winter's end, the lonely and honest last chapter of the cold season. Hymn to the unloved season, February's truth, the month that takes no pleasure in the youth of spring's arrival, the month that simply is. Hymn to the unloved season, cold and his.
The tree that held the gallows decades past has bloomed each April with the same contrast of white against the dark of its old wood. The blossoms indifferent to whether good or otherwise was done from these particular branches. The village children play beneath it now, unknowing their laughter, the cold vow of the living claiming back from the dead what the executed should have had instead of the particular appointment that the tree once kept. The gallows tree in spring, blooming regardless. It's wide above the history, the hardness of what the wood remembers underneath the flower. The gallows tree in spring, reclaiming its power. I have sat beneath it in the April cold, feeling the wood's particular peril of memory under the ordinary bar. The tree knowing something in its dark and patient hardwood that the blossoms don't discuss. The gallows tree in spring, blooming regardless. It's wide above the history, the hard flower, the gallows tree in spring. Reclaiming its power. The roots go down through the history of the site, absorbing the mystery of what the soil holds of the ones who will return to earth. The runs of mineral memory in the root system. The blossom is the most honest response. The tree has found to the enormous knots of what it was used for. The flowering, a kind of memorial, the showering of white petals on the ground each year, a ceremony. The gallows tree in spring, blooming regardless. It's wide above the history, the hardness of what the wood remembers underneath the flower. The gallows tree in spring. Reclaiming its power.
Watches what her decades have unrolled. Go room by room into the orange sky. She makes no sound, she doesn't cry where anyone can see her at the perimeter. Aria for a burning library, rising with the smoke. The book's last words in embers as they grow into the air above the burning shelves. Aria for a burning library, the knowledge itself. The books that had been overdue for decades. The books returned without their proper trace. winter morning, 300 years later, the warning stone still standing at the lane's entrance. The names of the dead in their sentence of stone still readable in the February light. The plague village preserved in its sacrifice, the names carved in the stone at the price of their collective choosing to contain. The plague village preserved, permanent stain. The cottages that the dead last occupied still stand, their windows having cried. The centuries of weather down their stone faces, the village carrying its own particular silence that is different from ordinary quiet. I read every name on the boundary stone, speaking each one aloud and alone into the February ordinary names, receiving the particular call of being spoken after 300 years of silence. The plague village preserved in its sacrifice, the names carved in the stone at the price of their collective choosing to contain. The plague village preserved, permanent stain.
Each morning after he died, the mechanism of her grief a guide to the day's proceedings, each hour marked by the specific power of loss measured in its own turning. The clockwork of her grief was precise. Each stage arrived at the cold, precise moment that the mechanism required. No grief stage could be hurried or extended past its allotted duration. Watched her at the anniversary dinner. She held each year the particular thinner quality of the candle on the table. As the evening progressed, the stable and ceremonial grief of the practice mourner.
The clockwork widow, ticking through morning, each stage of grief arriving each morning. On schedule, the mechanism patient and cold. The clockwork widow, beautifully old.
She told me the clockwork grief was a gift he had left her the particular lilies of the mechanism structure, when structure was the only suture available for what the loss had opened. By the 7th year the clockwork had become the natural rhythm of her, the drum of the loss now inseparable from her own heartbeat, the solemn and beautiful mechanism of her grief entirely hers.
The clockwork widow, ticking through mourning, each stage of grief arriving each morning. On schedule, the mechanism patient and cold. The clockwork widow, really old.
Gothic Vault. Thank you for watching.